Welcome to the Equipped Disciple channel. My name is Rick McClatchey. I will be your host. We are here to be and to make disciples of Jesus, and we do that through daily devos, through Sunday sermons, and through other discipleship resources. We are here to equip you. All right, welcome into another day of digging into Hebrews chapter 11. Today we are talking about the concept of legacy. We want to look at the legacy of some of our fathers of the faith and what they did at the end of their life. Again, as we talked about before, how they died having not yet seen the fullness of what was promised to them, and yet they didn't allow that to affect the words that they spoke and the actions that they took towards the coming generations. And so let's take a look and see what exactly I'm even talking about. So what is your legacy of faith going to be is the question I want you to ask yourself today. And we're going to jump right in here to the first verse, verse 20, Hebrews 11, verse 20. By faith, Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning things to come. If you think about where they were at in this place, honestly, Isaac had been deceived by Jacob. Isaac had blessed Jacob, and while he thought he was Esau. And so some pretty challenging scenario going on right here. And yet Isaac is still moving forward with a faith-filled declaration of God leading and guiding his people. So he's blessing him, giving him the passing on of the dominion of the promise of the Abrahamic covenant with God that had been passed from his dad Abraham down to Isaac, and Isaac is now passing it along because he still believes that God is engaged in this process. And so faith during even challenging beginnings, when things were not going according to Isaac's plan, things were a little wonky. He's like, God, how did you let me accidentally bless Jacob instead of Esau? So I think that there's so much power in this little tiny snippet out of this one verse and what it talks about Isaac's position in his heart towards his kids and towards the promises of God. He wasn't backing down from what he believed God had genuinely promised them. All right, and then the next verse, verse 21, by faith, Jacob, when he was dying, blessed each of the sons of Joseph, and he worshiped leaning on the top of his staff. And so, again, we see that Jacob was the one that wrestled with God. So he had been physically marked by his interaction with God, so much so that he had to walk with a staff. So that staff was kind of representative of his dependence upon God, because God had touched the hip socket and caused him to limp. So then he used a staff the rest of his life. And so this whole worshiping God, blessing each of his kids, worshiping God, leaning on the staff. It's such a cool picture of what Jacob, also his name was changed to Israel. So the father of all the tribes of Israel, that's what he was doing at the end of his life. And they had just, they had just come through kind of a famine season, right? And so there was a lot of stress and pressure they had lived through. And actually, Jacob had gone through thinking that Joseph was dead for 13 plus years and thought he had lost him forever, and then was able to see not only his kids but his grandkids from Joseph. So pretty powerful. The story of how long Jacob got to live with seeing Joseph in the picture. So pretty incredible. And so Jacob is looking at still the people not being where they're promised to be. They're not in the promised land. They're not actively taking ground that they're supposed to take. And yet he's blessing his kids and he's casting vision forward. We're going forward. We're going to see God fulfill all of his promises. So he's fueled by hope because he has seen the highs and the lows, the peaks and the valleys of walking with God, and he's there to declare at this definitive moment with his kids, trust God, follow God. He's going to take you where you're supposed to be. And then verse 22, by faith, Joseph, as he was nearing the end of his life, mentioned the exodus of the Israelites and gave instructions concerning his bones. I mean, they were in Egypt for over 400 years. And so he is making a long distance declaration here. A long distance declaration, but he wants to instill a confidence, so much so he's requiring them to make a promise that will require multiple generations to fulfill. I think it's just super impactful for him to make this kind of a declaration in a place that actually had become very much his home. Like he was the second most powerful person in the known world at that point, right? And so for him to come to the end of his life and say, you know what, this is not my home, even though it was probably a place of great comfort, of great luxury, of great experiences, of great relationships. I mean, you could go on and on and on of all the things that Joseph had. He focused his speech on declaring a prophetic vision for the people of Israel to follow and to take him with them. And so there was just this, I don't know, it's just an awesome, he's like, I want to be a part of it. I want to get into the land. So you're going to scoop up my bones. You're going to carry them with you. Faith that speaks prophetically over a people to guide them over a long period of time, creating the opportunity for legacy to live on. Now, of course, they have to respond and they have to do it in order for a legacy to really accomplish its fullness. But Joseph had to lay the groundwork there. And so, again, coming back to our reoccurring definition, faith is behaving like you believe that what God says is actually true. So let's do that today. God bless you. Have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow. Hey, if you're getting value out of these videos, if you could just make sure you hit the like button, maybe subscribe to the channel. YouTube is suggesting a video right about here for you to check out. So go ahead and check out the next video.